The following presentation of the House of Infinite Progress is brought to you by Nanotech Resources Distribution Network, makers of Buckyballs. Buckyballs, the world's chosen polymer for today's molecatron. Download our latest food product algorithm, synthetic cabbage rolls. When it's got to be right, it's got to be Buckyballs. NRDN, a member of the Lakshmi Ambani Group. And by Twiddle Meat, makers of Booty Bots. With Booty Bots, staying home can be as naughty as you can imagine. Twiddle Meat. Get real. Get Twiddle Meat.
Welcome everybody. Welcome. You're all entirely welcome to this, our first occasion to meet up in our beautiful, I almost said hall of worship. How silly of me. I guess old habits really do die hard. Excuse my backwardness. Of course I meant to say, welcome everyone, to our new temple in the cloud. The House of Infinite Progress. And the really cool thing about it is that everyone can attend just by joining the Friends of the House of Infinite Progress on TwiddleMeet. Isn't it convenient that we can all come together without having to actually be together? How did we ever have intercourse before TwiddleMeet? Those were some dark days, were they not? Blessings on all things digital. I see many familiar avatars before me tonight, but I know some of you are attending for the first time, so before I say any more, let me introduce myself to those of you who may not have downloaded my data profile personogram. You know who you are. All I can say is shame on you, brothers and sisters. Shame on anyone who would willingly give up access to all the beautiful information. It's beautiful, and I've seen it. I've seen the data, and I can tell you that the best data is yet to come. I am Dr. Kenneth Whiteman. Before I go on, I should perhaps share a little information concerning my background. Ground is certainly an archaic term, isn't it? But in this instance entirely fitting, for you see, I come from a much different place than where we find ourselves tonight. Has anybody here tonight heard of Eastern Tennessee? Well then, perhaps you've never heard of Johnson City, just north of Erwin, Tennessee. Anybody? Well, in any case, I come from a long line of dirt farmers. Dirt farming on top of being dairymen. And when I say dirt farmer, I literally mean dirt farming. Towards the end of the farm, it became more lucrative for us to just dig up the dirt, put it in bags, and ship it to China. Of course it meant the end of the farm, but it also meant paying for a young man's higher education. And it turned out there was plenty of methane gas to be piped up from the ground after we had removed all the dirt. And to think, as a young boy, I thought the only source of methane on our little farm was cow farts. Just kidding. Well, actually I'm not kidding, and if any of you have smelled early morning cow flatulence, you'll know what I'm talking about. Anyway, after the explosion, there was really very little of the farm to salvage, and it seemed an opportune time to upload into the cloud. My dear wife Bonnie had some trepidation about such a life-altering decision, but as any good couple does, you talk it out and reach a nice compromise. For us, my methane burns cinched the deal, and we went in for data conversion the next day and really haven't looked back. Everybody, everywhere, can now know absolutely everything there is to know, and to think that we used to be limited to playing Trivial Pursuit. Hallelujah. Can I get a hallelujah from you? Anyway, I just think it is neat. It's neat to be in the cloud with you, my brethren. Can I get a neato? Somebody say neato. It's really neat, isn't it? Isn't the singularity just, you know, neat? Isn't anybody gonna signify all of this progress with one big neato? Sorry, I get a little excited about the progress we've made, and I suppose the reason I get so excited is that I know, to the core of my memory data profile, that this is nothing compared to where we're going, all of us, legacy systems, right on up to the latest beta advanced thruster Lightning OS. Now I really am getting excited. Somebody? Is it just me, or did somebody spike our synthetic coffee wave generator with something other than plain old proton wavelets? Any of you that know me, know that I am just kidding. Kidding about our synthetic coffee, that is. And by the way, the cabbage rolls were fantastic. Thanks to the ladies that kindly assembled them. By the way, I want to also remind you of our House of Infinite Progress mixer dance that we'll be holding in the recently updated holograph hall. Be sure to attend if at all possible. And of course by that, I mean be sure to represent yourself with your finest booty bot that will be sure to ignite holograph hall with your latest dance moves. We're having a couple of contests that should be a lot of fun. Really neat and fun to watch. The first one is the speed dance race. Remember, whoever booty bot completes the required gestures first is a winner. And later on in the night, we are gonna have that favorite naughty sassy contest, the whose booty bot is the sluttiest contest. That one is always a lot of fun. Just real neat to see everyone's booty bot representing their slutty side. I think it's really neat, but my wife usually doesn't talk to me afterward. Just kidding. But seriously, as a reminder, I'd ask that you strictly comply with the Slutty Booty Bot contest guidelines. For those of you who don't remember, algorithmic acts portraying penetration and/or bodily substance are strictly frowned upon. I'm an ordained minister in the House of Infinite Progress, but I'm also sort of a smart aleck. I like to have fun while I spread the word. Having fun can be neat, and I'm a bit of a mischievous rascal, although you may not think that the first time you see my conservative hair preference selector style. If someone gave me $5 for every time I've been mistaken for a weatherman, I could just stay home. I'd have so much money. Of course my wife might not like that no matter how much money I might have. Just kidding. All kidding aside, those that limit their access to the beautiful information are sure to suffer a wretched existence. Original sin is just misinterpreting the data. Yes, I know it is said that I am a man of the polymer, but I'm here to tell you that we are all men and women of the polymer. Well, my friends, we have an impressive turnout. One of my real joys is to be able to preach to those that really want to hear it. Back in my early days as a freshly minted minister, pre-April 17th, that's how old I am, folks. But seriously, back in those messy and frankly sinful days in the flesh, you remember those? Was there anything creepier than the human sex act? I don't think so. That was just plain gross. And do any of my brethren in our House of Infinite Progress remember non-synthetic dairy products? Jesus Lord, deliver us from our ignorant ways. They would say butter. However, I'd call it cow's knot, and I never won over many friends in doing so. But the righteous seldom win popularity contests. Just ask my wife. She seems to break out in a rash whenever she gets near my sermon. I'm just kidding. Well, anyway, as a young preacher back in the mundanity, I'd try my darndest to spread the word of the coming progress, and I'd get all variety of meatheads giving me their blank stares. You would have thought that someone just told them that their outdated sensory organs were exactly that. They'd just stare at me with their poor excuses for light sensory charge couple devices. And I stared right back at them, knowing full well the obsolescence of their fleshy organs. It was gross. I tell you folks, it was the backwaters. Assembling meals without molecutrons. Yes, they were gross. You've all heard stories, I'm sure, but tonight, we've all congregated to this, the newest, cleanest existence yet. Obsolete? What's that? That's nothing, brothers and sisters, nothing that you cannot update. And the only way we're gonna better ourselves is to update our way towards progress. That's why at the House of Infinite Progress, the biggest gift of all is the future that is our present. Can I get a witness? Is anybody among us prepared to witness to the power of our progress? Anybody have any story to share of the power of progress?